How are we getting on, guys? Luke here from LAGFX. We are back today with a new Sunday sessions video. If you guys are new to this series, it's basically where we choose a few pairs that we feel hold good potential for the coming week. We break down some of the analysis we have performed to give you guys a better understanding on how we are looking at tackling these markets. Now, if you go on to enjoy this video, don't forget to leave it a thumbs up. All the support you guys provide is very much appreciated. And if you do have any questions or queries with regards to the analysis I go through today, then please just leave them down in the comments below. Now, there's a few pairs that we're going to touch base on today, but the first pair we are going to begin with is the Euro US dollar market. So as we know, I have been saying for weeks and weeks and weeks that we are wanting to see weakness in the US dollar. And with me making that statement, we are fundamentally backed. Every single week, there seems to be something that comes out that is affecting the US economy, okay? Now, this correlates well to the markets, obviously. So when we are looking at any pair that has the US dollar as quote, we're typically wanting to see this pair appreciate and increase in value. Why? Because the base currency is against the US dollar. So by the US dollar depreciating, it means that the base currency is only going to appreciate. So with this market here, if we just go to the daily timeframes, pretty evident that since the start of this year, we've had an extremely bullish market, and I'm wanting to see this continue. If we zoom out more, you can see that we've had an impulse, correction, impulse. I'm expecting price to pull back to set a corrective wave, but to ultimately continue with a impulsive wave trading us higher. Now, we have no signs to suggest that this impulsive wave has finished. As we go down to the 4 and 1 hour timeframes, there is nothing to suggest that price is ready to put in a higher time frame correction. We have had a break of structure here, but this is more fractal. I am expecting price to actually go on to set a new higher high, breaking the previous one here. What would be a more substantial break in structure would be a break from this low here, because as we zoom out, if we just draw our path, this would be the structure. If we were then to see price trade down, breaking this low here, that would be a substantial break, and that would confirm to us that price is now ready to put in a higher time frame corrective wave to the downside. We've not been delivered with anything of that sort, so I don't believe price is ready to put in that higher time frame correction just yet. We're still well within the midst of bullish structure, and I want to be looking to buy into this market this coming week. So how can we look to do that? You can see here that I have gone ahead and marked out an area of demand. This is actually a fair value gap on the 15-minute timeframes. We've had a break. We've had a penetration of this zone. I would like to see price now break structure fractally to the upside, breaking these highs here. That would give us the confirmation that this correction here is finished. The new impulse is ready to take place. Once we've been delivered with that, as we know, we expect price to pull back to set a higher low, and this is when we'd be looking to get involved in this market. Now, by sitting patiently and waiting for price to pull back, it just means that we can refine our stop loss and really stretch our take profit target. If we were to get involved in the break here, the safest point to place our stop loss would be at the last low. So you can see that we have a 60 pip stop loss rather than a 7 to 10 pip stop loss. So by allowing price to pull back, not only are we getting in at a cheaper price, but we're also able to refine our stop loss, allowing us to have a greater risk reward return from the position. So this right here is what I want to see take place this coming week. And I do believe we will have this opportunity present itself to us probably by Wednesday. As I say, this is on the 15-minute time frames. So realistically, I think, by Wednesday, we should see this opportunity present itself to us. And it's definitely a trade we should be looking to take part in. So that right there, guys, is my analysis for the Euro US dollar market. Heading over to the Great British Pound to the US dollar. This was a trade that we placed last week that played out very, very well for us. Walking away with just over 4 RR in returns, meaning every 1% we are risking, we are looking at 4% in returns. Now, if you remember last week's Sunday sessions video, I did suggest buying in from this zone here. And as you can see, price has played out beautifully, generating us with another 4.5% in returns from that trading opportunity. Now, how am I looking to take part in this market this coming week? Well, we've just seen price trade down trading into a area of inefficiency, and we are seeing some good signs of rejection. So I would love to see a continuation in this rejection. I want to see a valid break of structure to the upside, again giving us the confluence to suggest that price is now ready to put in that next impulsive wave. So I'd be looking for a break from this high here. Once we have a break from this high, that's when we have the confirmation that enough demand was introduced at this point, but also enough supply was removed in order to give us that flip in the balance. Now, it's very important that we don't get swayed by fractal structure. You know, people saying, oh, well, this is a break of structure to the downside, therefore price is now moving bearish. I wouldn't consider that a break of structure to the downside. This is merely a deeper correction in the grand scheme of things, which is quite evidently a bullish market. As you can see, impulse, correction, impulse. It's very important that we don't get swayed by breaks in fractal lows and consider them full flips in balances. So as I say, I want to see a break in this last protected high within this bearish corrective wave that would confirm enough demand has been introduced to give us a flip, and then I'll be looking to take part in this market. So it's just a case of sitting on our hands, waiting patiently for the opportunity to present itself to us. So I'm going to add an alert there. I'm also going to do the same for the Euro US dollar market. But that right there, guys, is my analysis for the Great British Pound to the US dollar. Okay, moving over to gold. The quote currency is the US dollar, which is why our bias is the same. These three pairs that I've gone over in today's video all share the same quote currency, which is the US dollar. We want to see weakness in the US dollar, hence the appreciation in these prices. Okay, we've continued to respect areas of demand, creating new highs. I would love to see price now go on to set a new high, coming to break the last high that was created here. Now, where do you feel would be a safe bet to place our take profit? Well, if we were to get involved from this zone, we'd obviously want to set our stop loss just below the zone that we get involved from, like this. And our take profit would be safe to be placed just beneath the last high. Why? Because we expect this high to break to go on to create a new higher high. So it almost guarantees that it's an achievable place for price to reach this coming week. Now, this would essentially be the position we would be looking at placing. However, as with the other two pairs that we've gone over in today's video, we ought to see a break of structure to the upside to give us the confirmation we need to get involved. So what do? Well, we look at the fractal structure within this corrective wave here, and we mark out the last protected high. By marking out the last protected high, we are then able to see whether we can get the break we need. So the last protected high within the fractal structure of this market would be this one here. So a break above that would tell us that we are no longer following the laws of bearishness, which is to break lows and protect highs, but we are now following the laws of bullishness, which is to break the highs and protect the lows. We've broken a high, we would then be protecting this low, protecting the next low, and continuing trading higher. Yeah. So how can we look to get involved in this market? Well, look, we could have been preemptive and we could have got involved in a position based on a penetration rejection of this zone. However, I am someone who is very strong and committed to quality over quantity. I don't want to place preemptive trades just on the chance that price follows our analysis, essentially. We ought to wait for confirmation first. So as soon as we have confirmation of a break in structure to the upside, that's when we can begin looking for those trading opportunities. So once we have a break in this high, I am expecting price to pull back, as I am with the Euro US dollar and the cable. And then as soon as price pulls back down, that's when we'll be looking to get involved in this market, allowing us to get involved with that refined entry. Now, as we zoom into this pair, you can see here that I've gone ahead and now marked out a fair value gap. This is probably the only thing that's substantial that I believe price could trade into. That or the order block that's present here that I believe price could trade back down and into. So I do want to see price trade up with the demand that's been present from this area here. Once price does break structure, we can obviously then expect price to pull back down, and then that's when we would be looking to add to our positions, whether it be from this order block or the fair value gap that's present here. Now, when you look at the trade itself and the opportunity that presents itself, we are able to get involved with a very, very refined entry and a stretched take profit target. giving us the opportunity to get involved in a 1 to 56 RR trade. So next week, I am definitely looking to take this market long. I can see price really playing out well for us. It's just a case of waiting for the confirmation needed in order to execute the positions we want to place. But that right there, guys, is going to summarize this week's Sunday Sessions video. I hope you have enjoyed. If you've learned a thing or two, brilliant. Leave it a thumbs up. If you have any questions or queries with regards to anything I've gone through in today's video, then just leave them down in the comments below. I'm very responsive with the comments. But other than that, people, thank you very much for watching. I'm wishing you all a profitable week. I'll catch you in our next Sunday Sessions video.